Hi everybody, welcome to day 5 of our article analysis videos. So today we're going to read something about AI, and more specifically we will read this piece on ChatGPT, which seems to have become pretty all the rage, you know what I mean? So I think everyone has already seen its power. They've already interacted with it, either on Telegram, although I don't think it's actually the Chat GPT bot. I don't think it's official. But either way, I believe that you guys have actually had some experience with it. But even if you haven't, at least you saw some news about it. And there was also a video by Jordan Peterson who talked about the implications of this particular bot. Now, how about we read this post by this prose, and just so you know, prose is a written piece, okay? Uh, and as if you've noticed, what we've been doing in the past 6 days is I've been reading articles from different publications, all right? So that's what I usually do when I read articles. I don't just limit myself to one source, just to make sure that I expose myself to different styles of language. Now, with that being said, how about we dive right into it? Okay, what is AI chatbot phenomenon, ChatGPT, and could it replace humans? All right, what is the AI bot ChatGPT? ChatGPT is a prototype dialogue-based AI chatbot capable of understanding natural human language and generating impressively detailed human-like written text. Okay, so prototype. Okay, it's actually not um, finished yet. All right, so dialogue-based. All right, so it's a dialogue-based AI chatbot capable of understanding. And pay attention to the usage of capable of. Right, so capable of plus ing. Understanding natural human language and generate means produce, right, write, impressively detailed. When the word impressive is used as an adverb, it means very, right, very detailed, right, detailed in a way that is impressive. Impressively detailed, human like means what, similar to human features, all right, human like written text. It is the latest evolution of GPT, generative, right? Generative pre-trained transformer family of text generating AIs, right? So it is GPT. It stands for generative pre-trained transformer family, right? So GPT family of text generating AIs. Okay, it's the latest, what, as you might say, the mode, right? The version, latest version. Who made it? The new AI is the latest chatbot from the Elon Musk founded independent research body OpenAI Foundation, right? So, oh, it turns out that it actually belongs to Elon Musk, which is something that I didn't know, all right? Elon Musk founded. Pay attention to how this was, used. Elon Musk founded, yeah, right? So it's sort of like comes in the form of adjective, right? This is how you turn, a verb into an adjective. You could have said that this is the same thing as founded by Elon Musk. All right, so Elon Musk, independent research body. All right, uh, independent research body, AI Foundation. I don't think we need to write this down. Body Open AI Foundation. All right, Musk co-founded the startup with. Okay, co-founded. You know, it means that he did it with someone else. The startup. The startup by the startup means they mean the startup is the chatbot, all right? This is ChatGPT. With other Silicon Valley investors, including technology venture capitalist Sam Altman in late 2015. Okay, um, including technology uh, venture capitalist. Okay, what does venture mean? I didn't know that. Venture. Oh, venture means a new activity usually in business which involve risks or uncertainty. Okay, great. Um, Let me see. Venture capitalists, right? Technology venture capitalists. Technology. Uh, Technology venture means risks involved in technology. You know, venture capitalist. Capitalist is someone who, engaged in capitalism. Capitalist is someone who practices capitalism. Or someone who has a large amount of money invested in a business. Yes, that's what it means. Capitalist Okay, venture capitalist, like someone who's invested a lot of money in a particular, you know, startup, and this is the startup, this Chat GPT, which I'm sure will generate millions of money. So saying that the research center would advance digital intelligence in the way that is most likely to benefit humanity, according to a blog post at the time. So what we can sort of like understand from this is that this is not something new, right? GDP is GPT, right? Is not something new. Investors, including technology venture, okay, so saying that, all right, the research center would advance digital intelligence, right, in the way that is most likely to benefit humanity, in the way that this is something that I usually use, all right, this phrase in the way that, and here they're using the instead of a because it's the only way that they think it is, all right. Advance advance means improve digital intelligence, all right. Digital intelligence is probably something we need to know. Intelligence. All right. Now, the Twitter CEO has since left the board and distanced himself from the company. So Sam Altman is probably. Oh, I think yeah, that he is the Twitter CEO, right? Has since left the board. Has since meaning that since that time, has since left the board. You know, the board of, let's say, creators, investors, and distanced himself from the company. Distanced. Himself from the company. This means that he didn't really pay attention to the company. Tweeting on Sunday that after he learned that OpenAI was accessing the platform's database for training, he put a pause on it. Uh, okay, put a pause on it. Okay, so it turns out that OpenAI was accessing the platform's database. All right, so accessing meaning that entering. Okay, so accessing the platform, and by platform they mean Twitter, right? Platform's database for training. And if you guys don't know at this point, ChatGPT, well, to be able to generate such human-like written texts, um, it is supposed to be exposed to some sort of database, all right, to make sure that it trains, right, for it. And I don't know why training. They quoted training. I think it was not the kind of training that we are talking about right now. But basically, what happened? What the default is that any sort of AI to be able to interact with you, there's supposed to be some database, all right, behind it. Now, need to understand more about governance structure, revenue plans going forward, he said, right? Need to understand more governance structure, revenue plans going forward. Go forward, I think, let's see, going forward. I think like progressing, right? So let's just take a look at that. Soon, let me see, where were we? I kind of lost track. So okay, need to understand more about governance structure. Right, governance structure is probably the structure of Twitter, right? Like the governance structure, the way that organizations or countries manage at the highest level, at the systems for doing this, uh, structure and revenue plans going forward. Right, OpenAI was stated as open source and non-profit. Oh, I see. So, you know, just so that others could understand more about the governance structure, all right, and revenue plans going forward, OpenAI was started as open source and non-profit. Okay, so um, open source, it means anyone can see the, it's available to the public, and it was non-profit, right? Let's see, non-profit. Neither are still true, right? Neither are still true, meaning that OpenAI is no longer uh, open source and non-profit. Okay, it's now a profit-based startup, I believe, right? So okay, trained by AI and machine learning, the system is designed to provide information and answer questions through a conversational interface. So, so here, I like again, I like this clause, right? Trained by past participle, and then you have object, right, or objects, and you have the independent clause, the actual clause, right? right here. The system is designed to do something, right? Designed so that to provide information and answer questions through a conversational what interface. Okay. The AI is trained on a huge sample of text taken from the internet. Okay. Trained on, right? A huge sample of text. OpenAI said the new AI was created with the focus on ease of use. Okay. Was created with a focus on ease of use, meaning that it will be easy to use. All right. The dialogue format makes it possible for ChatGPT to answer follow-up questions. All right. Dialogue format makes it possible. All right. Makes it possible for ChatGPT GPT to answer follow-up questions. Answer follow-up questions. Well, follow-up questions are usually the questions. For example, you ask the AI a question, a general question, and then he answers you. Actually, it answers you, and then you give a follow-up question for that. You follow it up with a question, something that is actually related to the answer. Admit its mistakes. All right. Challenge incorrect premises. All right. Challenge incorrect premises, meaning a premise is okay, here an idea or theory on which a statement or action is based. For example, they had started with the premise that all men are created equal, right? So the chat challenges incorrect premises, right, and reject inappropriate requests. Yes, when you you know ask the chat GPT to do something, or if you give it an incorrect premise, then it will reject it. It will challenge those premises and reject inappropriate requests. All right, the research body said in a statement last week. Okay, early users have described the technology as an alternative to Google. Okay, described it as an alternative to Google, meaning that it can be used instead of Google. All right, because early users, pay attention to this collocation as well. Early users who first used it. All right, to Google, because it's capable of providing descriptions. Again, if you've seen this, capable of providing descriptions, answers, and solutions to complex questions, including ways to write code and solve layout problems and optimization queries. Okay, solve layout problems. Layout problems are probably structure-based problems, like the way that something is arranged. Yes. For example, when you give it a math problem, right? And optimization queries. So when you ask it to optimize something to make it better, for example, let's say essays. When you ask the bot to rearrange your essay in an optimized way, right? Optimization. Queries. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Let's check it out. Query. Okay, so the American accent, the American way of pronouncing it is query, but let me just check. Queries. All right, queries. Real world applications. All right, real world applications. Could include generating content for websites, right? Generating. Oh, I messed it up right here. Generating content for websites, like writing different descriptions on a website, answering customer inquiries. Okay, answering customer inquiries, meaning, let's say when customer asks let's say the shopping assistant, right? If that's how you say it, whether they have a particular pair of shoes of some size. And yes, this AI can be used to do some, how do you call them, menial parts of a particular job, providing recommendations as well as creating automated chatbots. All right. Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, said the system was an early demo of what's possible. Okay, an early demo of what's possible. Okay. Soon you will be able to have helpful assistants that talk to you, answer questions, and give advice. Okay. Later, you can have something that goes off and does tasks for you. All right. Eventually, you can have something that goes off and discovers new knowledge for you. Wow, that's actually pretty uh, well staggering, but at the same time quite optimistic. And let's say, yeah, I'd say it's at the same time both staggering and optimistic. Or, well, I wouldn't say it's optimistic, but let's just say, well, good news, right? It's good news. But also there are chances of it replacing humans. And speaking of which, we will now read about it. There has been speculation that professions dependent upon content production, right? There has been speculation, meaning that we expect, right? We speculate something to go. Let's say the professions dependent on something, dependent on let's say uh, dependent upon, right? So the dependent upon is the same thing as dependent on. Content production, right? Could be rendered obsolete, could be rendered obsolete. When something is rendered, all right, so let's just check it out. Render, right? So to cause someone or be in a particular state. For example, his rudeness rendered me speechless. Left. You see, this is a more formal way of saying left. It left me obsolete. It left some. If this leaves someone obsolete, no longer necessary. All right. So obsolete, I believe, right? Obsolete, not in use anymore, having been replaced by something newer and better or more fashionable. Gas lamps became obsolete when electric lighting was invented. You see, so you can use this in your IELTS writing or speaking. When the examiner, for example, asks you, do you think typing on a computer will replace handwriting one day? Or you could say, yes, there have been some speculations that handwriting will be rendered obsolete thanks to, let's say, advanced typing, which is much easier, right? You see, you can when we analyze such articles, you basically stand yourself in good stead for when you have to answer IELTS speaking questions or writing questions, which will definitely help you, because you're learning these words in context, and you're learning them in the best way possible, which is context based and prediction based as well, because we're first predicting it, we're reading it, and then only then we are looking it up in a dictionary, so that we understand it, and this way these words cling to our memory in the long run, including everything from playwrights and professors to programmers and journalists. Yes, I did ask it to write me a plot for a sitcom that I was planning to, create, and then it just did it in a matter of seconds. This is scary. In the days since it was released, okay, in the days since it was released, uh, okay, academics have generated responses to exam queries. All right, generated responses to exam queries that they say would result in full mark if submitted by an undergraduate, and programmers have used the tool to solve coding challenges in obscure programming languages in a matter of seconds. Well, like you guys remember this? In a matter of seconds, this is something that I used. This is a nice chunk of language in a matter of seconds, in a matter of minutes. It means like in a short period of time, in a period of seconds. Now, okay, academics have generated responses to exam queries that they say would result in full marks. Result in full marks if submitted by an undergraduate. So what they're saying is the text generated by this AI would result in full marks if submitted by an undergraduate, meaning that let's assume that you're studying at a university, at a top tier university, let's just say in the US, and then you're assigned to write a particular essay, and then you submit the prompt, all right, to the AI, and then it generates it in a way that you want it to generate, all right. It writes a response in a way that you want it to write. Uh, Everything, like the style, the usage of words, the whatever that you needed to write. Okay, that's actually pretty amazing. Okay, and programmers have used the tool to solve coding challenges in obscure programming languages. Obscure programming languages are not known to many people, okay? The ability to generate human-like written text has prompted suggestions, all right? Has prompted suggestions. So if something prompts something else, it means it sort of encourages, all right? Prompt is a C2 word, if I'm not mistaken. Prompt somebody to do something, to make something happen. So prompt suggestions that the technology could replace journalists. Yes, this is a pretty well-known suggestion, I believe. However, at its current stage, all right, and pay attention to this. However, all right, you don't need a comma when you have another. Well, I don't really know the word for it, but you see, you only use a comma after this. You don't use however after however. At its current stage, okay, at its current stage, this is also a pretty nice chunk of language, I believe. The chatbot lacks the nuisance, lacks just a second, lacks the nuance. Nuance or nuance. Yeah, how do you pronounce it? I actually forgot. Uh,
Nuance.
yeah, nuance, right? So it's a very slight difference in appearance or meaning, right? Lacks the nuance. Where were we? Critical thinking skills or ethical decision making ability that are essential for successful journalism. Okay, so yes, it lacks the nuance. There's going to be some level of subtleties involved in the job, it something that stands the human-like written text apart from an actual text. You see, okay, yes, it definitely lacks critical thinking skills or ethical. Ethical. It means related to the study of something right and wrong. Not just the study, but related to morality. Its current knowledge base ends in 2021, rendering some queries and searches useless. Yes. Okay. So knowledge base ends in 2021. It means that it didn't really record anything after 2021. All right. Rendering some queries, again, leaving some queries and searches useless. Rendering some queries and searches. When you ask something that happened past 2021, it will still show you something out of date. ChatGPT can also give entirely wrong answers and present misinformation as fact. Okay, present misinformation. Okay, misinformation as fact. Writing plausible sounding but incorrect or nonsensical answers, the company concedes. Conceding means admitting, all right? Okay, plausible sounding, meaning something that sounds plausible, all right? Like on its surface, it sounds that it's close to reality, but in reality, but incorrect or nonsensical. Nonsensical answers are answers that make little to no sense, right? Nonsensical answers. Um, OpenAI says that fixing the issue is difficult because there is no source of truth in the data they use to train the model, right? No source of truth in the data they use to train the model, and supervised training can also be misleading, all right? So supervised training, like the kind of training that is done, with the presence, right, with the presence of someone who's supervising it, okay, can also be misleading because the ideal answer depends on what the model knows, all right, rather than what the human demonstrator knows. Uh, okay, the ideal answer depends on what the model knows rather than what the human demonstrator knows. Okay, human demonstrator, like I said, when someone is watching it, and then when someone is making sure that the bot is, how do I put this? Uh, just a second. Trader. So when someone makes sure that the AI is acquiring the truth, right? Acquiring the kind of information that is, let's say, statistically correct, right? There's still some bias involved in that, in the sense that the ideal answer is supposed to depend on what the model knows, all right? Not rather than what the human demonstrator knows. So this will run the risk of that particular person giving biased answers, all right? So just like a baby whose you know perception of the world is only limited to uh, what he or she has been input. What I mean is the perception of that baby, right, is only limited to what his or her parents tell them, right? For example, growing up, your parents may have told you something is true, and then you become an adult, and then you realize that the truth that you've been fed with is in fact wrong. You know what I mean? So that's what they're trying to say here. So I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions to ask me, please make sure you comment them in the section below, in the comment section. Otherwise, we'll finish it now. Why did I say the last sentence? Okay, everybody. I'll see you in the next videos. Bye bye.